Hi, welcome to the fourth and final video in our Bargain Hunting Pitfalls series. Today we are talking about playing it small. When we bargain hunt, we are trying to bring things into our life with as little investment as possible. And in the case of bargain hunting, the investment is money. So the larger problem with not being willing to spend money on ourselves is that money is just a form of energy. And if we're not willing to spend money to bring high quality things into our lives, then it is also likely that we are not investing the rest of our energies toward that. That would be energies like intention and attention and time and, patience and compassion, all those things that we need to apply to ourselves in order for us to have the things that we need to have the best life possible. We are likely not investing in those ways in ourselves, which means we are bringing into our lives things that require as little investment as possible, as little thought, as little intention, as little money as possible. And which means we're surrounded by things that are either not useful to us or actually harmful to us because they're getting in the way of our true energy and our true giftedness, which means we are playing it small. So when I say playing it small, I mean that we are not fully realized in our giftedness. We're not fully free. We're not feeling abundant and joyful and inspired. We're not fully healed. We're not fully vibrant, and not only are we not those things, but we're trying to be okay with not having those things. So playing it small means that we are not showing up and authoring our lives the way we might be able to do so. And in order to not play small, we have to be committed to bringing into our lives the right things, the right conditions, so that we can feel supported and thrive in it. It reminds me of a time when I was a teenager and I worked for a summer with my grandfather at his sock shop. So I had basically one job, which is usually true in a mill situation. But before my grandfather let me start working, he made sure all the conditions were correct for me. He made sure I had the right shoes on and that the temperature was correct in the space. He made sure the table was the right height for me to work at. In fact, he made me stand on a block because I was a little too short. If it had been up to me, I probably would have just, started working without making these adjustments. But my grandfather was very firm that we needed to do that. He explained to me that employees are investments and you have to protect those investments and make sure all the conditions are right. If you don't, the employee is likely to get tired or even injured and the work will suffer. So as I was thinking about that, I was considering the fact that life invests when we are brought into the world. Life invests in order for something amazing to happen. So each one of us is purposefully manifested on this earth, and each of us is filled with these amazing gifts and talents and kindnesses and compassion and intellect and all these amazing things. And life invests so that it will get good work out of us. And our job as humans is to make sure that investment is protected and it is freed to do what it needs to do in the world. So playing it small is not what we're here for. Now, one reason we might choose to play it small is because we are trying to be invisible. This is a big problem. It's a big problem for me, I can tell you. So one reason we might want to be invisible is because at another time in our lives when we were visible, it didn't go well for us. Like we were being ourselves without censoring ourselves and somebody criticized us or told us we needed to be different, or we didn't get celebrated the way we really should have. Or it's even possible that when we were visible, something bad happened to us, like we were violated or attacked. And so in our minds, we think being visible is dangerous. And so we're trying to play it small so nobody sees us. Now, I just want to be clear that things that have happened in the past could very well be traumatic and difficult, but they do not have to have power unless we agree to them having power, because what's in the past is already dead. And the capacity to heal yourself is here in the present. So if you decide you don't want that story to be your story, there is a way to release it, and your soul knows the way. So it's important for us not to think that we have to always be saddled with these past experiences that restrict us from our present life. The second reason we might be trying to be invisible is because we sense that when we become visible, we will actually be very powerful, and we're intimidated by that. There's that wonderful quote by Marianne Williamson, which says something like, the greatest fear we have is not that we are weak, but that we are powerful beyond measure. So I know from my own experience, when I started working in spiritual healing and I began feeling things shifting and moving because I wanted them to move, I began to realize that there was a lot of power inside of me. And it really did make me nervous, partly because I just wasn't sure that I was able to handle it. And I think that comes from another misconception we have, is that we really are these kind of small, fragile humans, instead of realizing we are the manifestation of life itself, and we are not fragile and we are not small. So I think one of the steps it takes for us to grow into our bigness is learning how to have faith in ourselves, to believe in ourselves and trust ourselves that we are created to do this, that we do know how. We just have to give ourselves some practice and some support, and really build for ourselves the lives that will make that possible. So what is it that you need to have your big life? I mean, is it going to amazing places on vacation to learn new things, or going to classes that inspire your mind? Or is it, surrounding yourself with the right group of people, or, surrounding yourself with the right location, like going to the mountains or the beach, or, what is it that you need? So you're not playing it small. And are you willing to invest yourself in getting those things to you, whatever they are, and whatever that investment is? It means actually listening, spending time listening to your heart, spending intention with letting yourself get in touch with what you need, and then spending your energy and your money to make that happen. What would happen if you gave yourself and invested in yourself everything that you needed to be who you were going to be? Like, how amazing would that be? How powerful would you be? And what would happen? I mean, I think it's worth finding out. Thank you for joining me for this series. Next week, I'll start my next series, which is going to be entitled Forgiveness Fallacies. I hope you'll join me then. Bye.